Welcome back to Tri-State Sports Talk here on AM 730 KWOA as progressing here on our show this Wednesday, and I want to catch up with some of the athletes making headlines in the fall sports season, and one of those would be Trojan junior running back Robert Lovan. Robert, how are you doing today?
I'm doing good. How about you, Jared?
Robert, I'm doing great. Thanks for your time, buddy. Let's talk a little bit about Trojan football and how you thought the season went, as obviously we'll kind of talk about the wrap-up of the season at the end, but let's go back to the first game of the year. You guys are up in Redwood Falls, taking on Redwood Valley, and, just about everything that kind of could go wrong for you guys just did not go well that first game. I mean, what were some of your thoughts after that first one? I'm sure it's got to be like, what the heck just happened?
Yeah, I was thinking that was a pretty bad way to start off the season, and I was just thinking, I don't know, it's pretty bad. I mean, starting off the season like that, losing by how many points and whatnot.
Right.
I mean, we've got to come together and, play better the next game and the next games after that.
Kind of then, let's go then to, the end of the season. I mean, you kind of take a look at how that season started. First two games were very tough. No doubt about it. And then come all the way that you guys finish 4-4 in the regular season, and more importantly, get to host a home playoff game. What do you think were some keys to success for you guys then in the season and getting that turned around?
To us, the team, everyone knew each other. We all knew each other, and we were friends and everything. So we had the connection of a family team. So when we connected, I mean, we ran plays right. The blocks were made, holes were opening and everything. And we gained momentum. But once something happened, if someone lagged off, we'd start to break down, but once everyone got back on track, we'd start going again and gain more momentum. I
think that's one of the things that was really noticeable about this team was, like you said, you guys all know each other. You guys get along. You could sense that camaraderie, and I think especially and it really showed in the way that you guys were able to turn around your season compared to not just the tough start, but look at all the injuries. You lose Will Mulder before the season. Carson Hagan goes down early in the season. Great to see him come back for the final game. Logan Thuringer, plays one series, leads you guys to a touchdown, and then, breaks his forearm. And I mean, all those things happened so early in the season, and I kind of thought we were going to get to see what this group was made of. And I think you guys showed good character in that and being able to just, all right, hey, we got some talent on this team, and instead of, worrying, oh my gosh, we lost so-and-so, it really kind of see, all right, who's the next man up? It's their chance to show what they can do. Kind of then going through the season, you lost the first couple of games, again, Redwood Valley and Waseca, and then you got to that New Ulm game, big win at home, and obviously for you personally, I guess you could say that was maybe the coming out party. Obviously for you, Robert, for me personally, getting to watch you as a sophomore, I would maybe first ask this question. You had a good freshman year, and then last year you came in as a sophomore. How big of a difference is that to go from that level of football, and then all of a sudden, boom, you're at varsity?
Oh, for me, it was a huge difference. I mean, playing freshman and then all of a sudden varsity the next year, playing against kids 2 years older than me, I knew I was going to get hit hard and whatnot. I mean, I was really nervous my first game playing at Fairmount, powerhouse team back then. And I don't know, I just got really nervous, and then when I went through practice and kept going, and as the practice is gone, I got used to it and got used to playing with older kids and everything. So,
would you definitely say that having at least that experience as a sophomore prepared you for what you were going to see this year?
Oh, yes, definitely. I mean, playing my sophomore year really helped me this year because, I mean, the varsity experience level was really fast. I mean, you got to get used to it. Sophomores now, they came and played varsity. They weren't used to it the first game in Redwood.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
That's what happened there. So
it's kind of crazy to see how far that class came. They really did. And we'll kind of talk about that later. But I want to get back to that New Ulm game as obviously, you got what people don't realize about your season when they look at the numbers as you were really battling some cramps and shin split. You were battling some debilitating injuries that, first of all, doesn't matter what position you play, really takes a lot out of you, and especially as a running back, though. I mean, when you cramp up, it's your body's just not allowing you to do what you really want to do. You know what I mean? I mean, so I'm sure it had to be frustrating then just to be able to be like, because I know the competitor you are.
Yeah.
And I'm sure it's just killing you. Like, come on, I want to be out there, you know?
Yeah.
So now we come into New Ulm after a couple of tough games, and, obviously you got things going early, some big runs early, and I think as the game went on, one of the things that's fun about watching you run the football is people see the speed, the athleticism, the agility. I don't think a lot of people know how hard you run. I mean, you take a lot of pride in battling for every yard, don't you?
Yes, I do.
Where's that come from then, man? I mean, let's be honest. If you've never seen Robert, what are you, 5'8"?
Yeah, around there.
150 pounds?
140.
Exactly. Okay, but I'm sure some people probably see that and be like, oh, he's just quick. But you have this dimension to your game. Where's that will to fight for everything you got come from?
Well, I mean, it all started when I was younger, playing MOIFL. When I grew up playing that, my dad always told me always to fight for any yard you could get. I mean, a yard wouldn't hurt. So every time I ran the ball, if there was no holes or if I couldn't juke anybody, I'd just lower my shoulder and hope for the best, like try and get as many yards as I can.
Did you have any idea how many yards you were even close to in that New Ulm game until the end of the game?
No, I had no clue at all.
292 yards rushing, breaking a school record for Robert Lovan in that one. And so, again, got the first win of the season. You go into Laverne, and obviously the Cardinals, a very good squad each and every year. And, Laverne comes out. They're very strong in the first half. And, again, I thought it was another kind of turning point, I think, for this team. You guys really came out in that second half with a lot of fire, a lot of aggressiveness, and you started taking it to Laverne. And unfortunately, kind of a very questionable penalty on you kind of stalled that one drive, and then Laverne scored, and then they kind of opened it up. But, I mean, it ended up 36-13. But I would say for Laverne fans, in that beginning of the third quarter to about late in the third quarter, I thought you guys took control of the game, and I thought that was very impressive to see, even though in a loss. What did Coach Gribbius say at the halftime break to you guys?
Whoa. He basically told us, I mean, don't worry about the first half. It's over with. We can't go back and change it. So, and he basically told us to win the second half. Play your hearts out. I mean, play your roles. I mean, make everything. Make every block. Run your hardest and just win the second half. And that's what we tried to do when we went out.
Trojans lost that one, but you guys bounced back with a win against Windham, lost to Marshall, then a couple games to wrap up the regular season. First one at home, a wild one against the Fairmont Cardinals, 13-12, and then you go on the road to take on St. James, and obviously a lot of I don't want to say a lot of pressure, but I mean you guys knew that obviously if you got that win, hey, we're going to get a home playoff game. St. James comes out and throws this long touchdown pass. I mean, 15 seconds in the game, we're down 7-0, and again, I thought another turning point, because sometimes when and especially kind of in the past when you have things not go your way, you could have the old slump to shoulders, and here we go again.
Yeah.
But a turning point. You guys put together a nice drive, solid running. You're able to tack on a touchdown, and I think that was just big to be able to come out, retake control of that game, and get that score and kind of just settle everybody down, and you go on to the big victory of 45-14. Did Coach say anything in the huddle before the first kickoff then after that quick score?
Well, Coach Grimace was a little angry because they wanted the ball. They wanted to receive. I mean, he thought they weren't giving us any respect, as in, like, maybe kicking the ball to us because we were playing at their field. So he was really ticked off, and he just told us to give it to him. I mean, go play your hardest, because they're not trying to respect us or anything. So
Trojans go on the victory. Robert in that one rushed for, I think it was 296, and so re-breaking your own school record. And kind of the funny thing I thought about that one was the New Ulm game was big plays. I mean, you're able to break big runs. The St. James game, you didn't have no 40-yard plus run, but it was just, the guys were busting holes and giving you those opportunities to really just kind of rack that one. And that one surprised me. Like the first one against New Ulm, I'm like, that's got to be a school record. And we're kind of formulating the one in St. James. I'm like, oh, well, he did it again, So talk a little bit about your offensive line then and the job they did this season.
Oh, they did great. I mean, we had Trevor Wietzma, Joe, and sophomores coming in. And once, like, when they blocked, the holes were there. I mean, all I had to do was read the block and read all my blocks, basically. And when there was open space, I'd take off. But they blocked their hardest all the time. I mean.
For the season then, Robert, you rushed for over 1,000 yards in 8 games. You didn't play the Marshall game because of migraines again, so you really had a lot to, battle through this season. Kind of looking back in retrospect now a little bit, what do you think when you look back and see what you accomplished this season? What are some of the thoughts that go through your mind? When you now that you kind of see it and you're like, holy cow, we were able to do great things this year.
Well, thinking about it now, it just blows my mind because I didn't think I did that great this season. I mean, I didn't think I'd rush over 1,000. I knew I was close, but I didn't think I was going to get 1,000. And I don't know, going 4-4, preseason and everything, that was just great too. And getting a home playoff game in how many years? 8 years, I think, or something like that.
Yeah, it's been a long time. Yeah, exactly.
And doing that and I don't know, it was just all so crazy now that I think about it.
Kind of talking a little bit about, we obviously talk about your rushing accolades. You do have a touchdown pass, almost had 2 this season. You had a touchdown pass, the halfback pass to Jordan Jensen in the New Ulm game. When you're rolling there with the football, what were you thinking? Just like, I'm going to chuck it no matter what? Or were you looking to see if he was open?
I looked and I seen that the cornerback gave out and came towards me, and then the free safety was way back. So I just closed my eyes, opened them, threw the ball, and just hope it got to him.
Oh, it was a great pass. Jordan Jensen pretty much just held up a little bit to make the catch and for a touchdown. Talking with Robert Lovan here on Tri-State Sports Talk. And, Robert, quickly, as we wrap things up, let's do a little speed round of questions. First, who are your parents?
My parents are Luth Lovan and Bunlung Tanse.
Now, if Robert Lovan's got a few free moments of time and can't play any sports, is there something you like to do outside of sports that you kind of just relax and to do for fun?
Usually, when I'm not playing sports, I'd be home sleeping or something, or eating and playing games.
Video games?
Yep.
What do you like?
Well, I play 2K and Call of Duty and Madden and all that.
Do you have played the new 2K yet?
Yep.
Is it good?
Yeah.
Thinking about getting it. Might have to talk after this. What's your favorite food?
It would be pizza.
Okay. Got a favorite movie? What's a go-to classic for Robert?
Oh, Grown Ups.
Really?
Yeah, definitely Grown Ups.
All right. Yeah, I saw that one. That was a good one. What about favorite kind of music?
I usually listen to some hip-hop.
Okay. A couple things as we wrap up. One I wanted to touch on. We've been talking a lot about your offense, but I think another element to your game is defensively. It's funny because the way you run is kind of translate to the way you play defense, and that is, I'm going to play fast, and I'm going to hit somebody hard. If the opportunity. I mean, you had some really nice moments defensively as well, and kind of going back then to this young class. Your sophomores coming into now your junior years, this sophomore class came a far way. So as you kind of look to the future, I would imagine that you guys have to feel pretty good. Hey, we're making steps, and now next year's another chance to make another big one for the Trojans. So what are some things you're going to work on in the off season just to kind of, as you kind of go through your junior year, just to get ready for next year?
Well, I really got to put some more weight on. I mean, I'm going to start hitting the gym, get a little bigger, get some more muscle, and then...
Don't go too crazy now, though.
And then I'll probably just work on cardio, stay in shape until the season comes.
Is the vision factor, because one of the things that I think you did really well this year, there was kind of a couple plays. One, that cross-counter seemed to work pretty good for us, for the Trojans this year. And then also just, especially that New Ulm game, the thing you did really well was setting up a guy outside and then busting him back inside. Is that vision something you just kind of develop as you got more comfortable throughout the year?
Yeah. As I kept playing through the year, I just read my defensive, defense way better. I'd read them.
Does it become a point where you just even almost stop thinking about it?
Yeah, I don't know. It seems like I just do it, and it works, so I just keep doing it.
Hey, reacting is the best way to play a sport, man. I will say that every time. Once again, Robert Lovan joining us here on Tri-State Sports Talk. Robert, it was a joy to talk to you. Congratulations on you and your teammates for a great season. It was a lot of fun. We'll look forward to doing it again next year.
Thank you.
Well, more on Tri-State Sports Talk after this on AM 730 KWOA.